It's one of your favorite things to do when we write. But the last 3 days, we've been working on just writing. Today, we are going to think about what we wrote, and we are going to draw a picture. Those of you who have not finished yet are not going to be doing this, but when you finish, you will get to. So I'm going to read my story, and I'm going to kind of show you how I would do this. Guys, when we write stories, we don't just have to write words. Our pictures, our titles, Leia, all of these features in our story, Cameron, help us to understand or help our reader to understand what we are writing about. We can use pictures to teach and convince our readers of our opinion also, okay? So, today I want to remind you, boys and girls, that writers of books use pictures and words to convince their readers. They don't just use any picture, they use a picture, Cameron, that convinces the reader of their opinion. So your picture can't be some random picture. It has to be a picture that connects to your writing. One way that writers do this is by including big and bold pictures that highlight the most important information in their story. Yesterday, when we were reading our Ruby Bridges book, we talked about how there was a picture in the book that showed an empty classroom, that she was all alone. That was a huge part of that story, that she was all alone and no other students were there because the parents, Zoe, withdrew the students and they didn't want their kids in there. That was a huge, important part of that story. So in the picture that the illustrator drew, she drew an empty classroom to show that detail so that we as the readers could understand that she was sitting in a room all alone. We can do the same thing in our writing. Our drawings, our illustrations, and pictures help the reader to draw their attention to the most important parts of our story and what the author is trying to say. So, I'm going to read you my story and refresh your memory of what I think about Ruby Bridges. I said, have you ever thought about who the bravest person in the world is? Or have you ever thought about how different schools used to be? Well, even if you haven't, this book will teach you all about it. In my opinion, Ruby Bridges is the bravest person in the entire world. There are many reasons why I believe this. The first reason is because even though men, women, and children were yelling at her, calling her names, and some of them, Leia, trying to hurt her, she still walked into William Frantz Elementary School. The second reason I believe this is because she was all alone in an empty classroom with Mrs. Henry. All of the other students were withdrawn from William Frantz Elementary. And I'm not done with my story yet because I have a few other reasons to mind and Zoe that I believe she's the bravest person in the entire world, okay? I provided 2 of my reasons using expert vocabulary, Cole, using reasons to support my opinion, and providing a hook for my audience. These are all great things that I've done in my writing so far, Cole, but the last thing that I want to do after I finish writing is I want to add an illustration. So my picture needs to match what my story was about. So what should my picture show you? What should my picture be about? What should it be about? Who can tell me? What should my picture be about? Cameron.
The picture will be about Ruby Bridges' brave.
About her being brave, right? So that picture, boys and girls, eyes on me. Eyes on me. Thank you, Leia.
Eyes on you.
We're going to try that again. Boys and girls, eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
We need to add a picture to my story that shows you exactly what my story told you. So, I'm going to show you how I would draw my picture for my story. And then you are going to get to do the same thing, boys and girls. So,
hit Eduardo on his arm.
Apologize. we'll discuss this later. Boys and girls, I want everybody to go ahead and look at my screen. On the screen, you will see a frame. It kind of looks like a picture frame. This is what you are going to draw your picture on, Leia, because we're going to put these on the very front of our stories. Just like when we read a book, there are title pages at the beginning of every book. We are going to make our very own title page. But our title page has to match what our story is about, Mason. So I'm going to show you how I would do that, okay? So I have my pencil here, and I'm going to think, it's about her being the bravest person in the entire world. So since I think she's the bravest person in the entire world, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the earth right up here, because that shows you that it has something to do with the world, right? Because I think that out of all of the people in the world, she is the bravest to mine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the earth. And obviously I'll add color to this later, but right now that's my earth. I have my earth. And I want to draw Ruby Bridges being the most important person in the world. Or not important, I'm sorry, the bravest person in the world. So I'm going to draw this right here, which is kind of like a spotlight. It kind of shows you that, hey, this is what I'm focusing on. So this is the world, but we're zooming in on one person. And who is that person I'm zooming in on? Ruby Bridges. So I'm not the best artist, but you can try to make it match your picture, Bottom Mason. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw kind of what I think she looks like, okay? So I'm going to draw her.
What about her
Hold on.
nose and bow? I think she's trying to
Boys and girls, it doesn't require talking to listen. So here's her little bow. Excuse me, Ezra.
Keep on your picture. Then you're back.
Ezra, if you're going to continue to be disrespectful, you can go ahead and put your head down. So I'm going to draw her, you know. It's not the best. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't expect you to be artist. But look, so I think I need to talk about why Eduardo, she was the bravest person. Showing that doesn't show that she was brave. So, what can I do to show she was brave? Oh, I know. I can draw a speech bubble to show what my story was about. Hold on. I'm not done. She was super, super kind to those people, even though they were mean to her, Mason. So remember we read something about her praying over the people, right? So I am going to write the word amen in this story, okay? Amen. Because it shows you that she's praying, right? And then I'm going to draw all these people on the side. I'm going to draw all of these people. And they don't have to be perfect, but there's all of these people who are being mean to her. They're yelling at her. They're saying mean things. And I'll draw their faces later, but right now, it just matters that they're there and that they are yelling at her and that they're being mean to her. And even though they're being mean to her, what is she doing? What is she doing even though they're being mean to her? She's praying. Guys, please. She's still being nice. So I'm going to act like they're yelling. I'm going to say, you're the worst. I'm going to say, we don't want you here from down here. We don't want you here. But she's still saying amen. And And do you think that because I drew her bigger than the other people, that that shows that she's the important one in this story?
Yes.
Yes, because she's bigger than all the other small people, so those other people don't really matter. They're small in this story. They're not the most important part of this story, Leia, Mason. Ruby Bridges is. So, I'm going to say amen. I am Ruby, and I am proud. I am Ruby, and I am proud. That shows you that she's not scared. She's brave, and she's going to walk through that crowd and into that school. So I need to draw the picture of the school, right? Because this whole thing was about her going to school, an all-white school, even though everybody was yelling at her.
What is it?
So down here, I am going to draw.
You say that when you're done. Just go move. What is it?
I am going to draw. I will tell you in just a moment.
You say that when you're done.